Hi, welcome to the first episode of Customer Experience Management by Connexa. I am Carlos Marquez, and today I have Axel Schultze with us. Axel, thank you very much for coming to this interview.
Thank you very much, Carlos. I'm happy to be here.
Great. Axel is a successful serial entrepreneur with significant profitable exits. He led a company generating $5 billion per year and finally went out to an IPO. He's currently the CEO of Society Tree, a growth accelerator and mentor of promising startups. Not to forget, Axel is a strong influencer in the world of customer experience and supported the growth of the customer experience management community, connecting today more than 80,000 people. Axel, first of all, I want to ask you, what was your motivation for supporting this community to grow as it is today?
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. It was actually funny. I was looking for customer experience knowledge myself after discussion, and I was kind of known for having a very, very good company culture in all my previous companies. And I realized there is a correlation between the company culture and the customer experience. So if there's an open-minded culture and very engaged on the customer side, then that culture translates at the end of the day to customer experience, because then customers say, hey, this is a cool company I want to work with, or buy from, or have a service, and so on. And I came across this one group, and I was so engaged that the group owner back then said, hey, Axel, I want you to run it with me. And we were about 4,000 users or so. And I get more and more engaged. And today it's about, with 80,000, it's the largest, worldwide, the largest on LinkedIn. And so this is an amazing group. And I believe that, and this back to your question, the more business owners, whether this is a CEO of a global enterprise or the owner of a small one-man shop, the better they can work with their customers, the more business they make. It's a theoretic, very obvious answer, but in practice, people are not listening in this direction. They're listening more to, okay, how much money can I make today? And if I can make a little bit more, screw the customer. And that is where, at the end of the day, ruins their business.
It has passed already quite some time since you started in the group until today. How has been the evolution that you have seen in the group and as well in customer experience?
If the group has grown, we got more and more people into the group. That was today. It's huge. That's theoretically nice, but also I think we reached sort of a tipping point where we realized with just conversations that we can't really manage too well, like whether this is a Facebook or LinkedIn group or so, it really doesn't matter. Customer experience, even in our group, sort of the group experience of those who are in, is degrading if the group is too large without having necessary tools to split it up in subgroups and so forth. So we're work on several details. The other thing we realized in these, I think it's now almost 10 years, that customer experience was sort of honestly, for many businesses, sort of an esoteric side effect. They said, okay, nice, come on, but we need to make business. And, customers are adults, so they figure out what needs to be done. And that has totally changed. We wouldn't have 80,000 managers from around the world if people wouldn't have realized that the customer experience is not just a nice to have, but a very strategic engagement. And this is in part maybe, groups like us who do this very intensely. We had a project running, defining customer experience, what it actually is. The things like, the so-called heat map, you look through processes and then you look where is it actually hot, where problems or where it's going very well. The whole customer journey idea. And if you discuss this with several hundred people around the world, the output is just significant. And so that's an evolution that we really, really enjoyed.
Nice, nice. And how have you feel the technology evolving during this time? You mentioned you started with a group like 10 years ago. The tools that you had at your disposal 10 years ago are completely different to the tools that we have nowadays.
Well, yes and no. Actually, that's why we really enjoyed the interaction and actually getting to know you guys, because if you believe it or not, group, I mean, in LinkedIn or Facebook or any of the social media tools has not changed in the last 10 years. The demand has changed, and the people are way more sophisticated than 10 years ago, where it's more like a chit chat. Today we want to actually solve problems, but the technology has not evolved. Community building is something that we have seen also 10, 12 years ago, but it has actually taken a change towards more like, in telecom companies, you have sort of a service community where it's more like a support operation. And so the community systems have evolved to a support management tool, which is certainly one way to go. But unfortunately, communities have not evolved on the professional side to actually manage large groups of smart people who actually want to get a job done. And so honestly, that's something we hope and expect to see from you taking that on.
Believe me, that is coming.